Right now, as you are watching this video, there are criminal operations running around the clock with one specific goal: getting you to read a 6-digit number out loud. That is it, just 6 digits. And once you do, they have everything they need to walk straight into your bank account, transfer your money, lock you out, and disappear. What makes this so dangerous is that the code they are trying to get from you is the exact same code your bank sends you to keep your account safe. Your security code. The one that was designed specifically to stop unauthorized access. They are not hacking anything. They are not breaking any encryption. They are simply waiting for you to hand them the key your bank already sent you by convincing you, in a very calm and believable voice, that sharing it is the right thing to do. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how this works, step by step, including a version of this scam that happens so fast most people do not even realize what occurred until they check their balance and find it empty. And I'm going to give you the one sentence your bank puts right on the text message itself that tells you everything you need to know. Stick with me, because there's a specific version of this involving a 3-way phone call that is catching even careful, attentive seniors completely off guard, and I want to make sure you can recognize it the moment it starts. I'm your host here at Retiree's Guide, and if this is your first time with us, subscribe right now, because every single week we protect your money by giving you the real information you need before a scammer ever gets the chance to use it against you. Let me start by making sure everyone watching this video understands exactly what a bank security code actually is, because understanding what it is and what it is for is the foundation of understanding how this scam works. When you log into your bank account online or through an app, many banks send a short temporary number, usually 6 digits, directly to your phone by text message or to your email address. This number is designed to be used one single time, within a very short window of time, usually 30 to 60 seconds, and then it expires completely. The purpose of this code is to confirm that the person trying to log in is actually you, the real account holder, by verifying that you have access to the phone number or email address registered on your account. In the security world, this is called multi-factor authentication, and it is genuinely one of the best tools available for protecting your account, because even if a criminal somehow has your username and your password, they still cannot get in without this temporary code that only your phone receives. Here's the most important thing I want you to hear in this entire video. And I am going to say it clearly right now before we go any further. Your bank will never contact you and ask you to read that code back to them. Not ever. Not under any circumstances. Not by phone call. Not by text message. Not by email. Not through any channel. The code is not sent to you so that you can confirm it to your bank. Your bank already knows what the code is because your bank generated it. The code is sent to you so that you can type it in yourself on a secure login screen to prove to the bank that you are really you. The moment anyone, for any reason, through any method, asks you to read that code out loud or type it into anything other than your bank's own official login screen, that is the scam. That is the entire scam. Whatever story comes before that request, whatever urgency, whatever authority, whatever fear they have created in the 60 seconds leading up to that moment, all of it exists for one single purpose: to get you to say those 6 digits. And once you do, it is over, because those digits are all they needed. Now let me walk you through exactly how criminals set this trap, because seeing the mechanics laid out clearly is what makes the difference between recognizing it in real time and being caught off guard by it. Here's what actually happens on the criminal's end before they ever call you. First, they need your username and your password, which in 2026 are not as hard to obtain as most people think. They may have purchased them from an online criminal marketplace for as little as $10, bought from a previous data breach at a retailer or a website you may have used years ago. They may have obtained them through a phishing email or text message we covered in earlier videos. Or they may have simply tried combinations from a list of commonly used passwords. However they got them, the moment they have your login credentials, they have already cleared the first barrier. But they cannot get in because your bank has sent a code to your phone that they cannot access. So they call you. They pretend to be your bank's fraud department. They tell you there has been suspicious activity on your account, that someone is trying to access it right now, and that they are sending you a verification code to confirm your identity and stop the fraud in progress. And at that exact moment, your phone buzzes. A real code from your real bank appears on your screen. That code is real because the criminal themselves triggered it by attempting to log into your account seconds before they called you. The code is real. Everything else about the call is completely fabricated. When they ask you to read the code to them, what they are describing as a security verification is actually the final step of their own login process. The moment you read those 6 digits, they type them into your bank's legitimate login page. The window closes before the code expires, and they are now fully authenticated inside your real account as if they were you. The bank's security system worked exactly as it was designed. It confirmed that someone with access to your phone provided the code. It simply cannot know that the person who read the code was manipulated into sharing it rather than entering it themselves. This is not a failure of the technology. It is a failure of the moment, which is exactly why understanding what is happening is the only real defense. This attack has become so prevalent and so effective that researchers at Recorded Future published a detailed threat intelligence report in April 2026 confirming that OTP session hijacking, meaning tricking a victim into surrendering their own verification code, is now the most prevalent method being used to bypass multi-factor authentication in financial fraud, targeting consumers in the United States. Think about what that means. The security feature your bank put in place specifically to protect you has become the primary target for the most sophisticated fraud operations currently running. Not because the technology is weak, but because the human moment of handing over the code is the easiest part of the entire system to exploit. Security experts who track this threat have noted that attackers can even build what are called adversary-in-the-middle systems, automated websites that look exactly like your bank's real login page, that capture your credentials and your code in real time the moment you enter them, then replay everything instantly to your bank's real site before the 30-second window expires. You see a convincing login page, you enter everything normally, and the entire process looks and feels completely legitimate, while the criminal is simultaneously logged into your real account on another screen. Let's talk about the specific variations of this scam that are most active right now in 2026, because the core mechanic is the same across all of them, but the setup varies in ways worth knowing. The most common version is the phone call impersonating your bank's fraud department that we just described. But there is a second version that operates specifically through text message, where you receive what appears to be a fraud alert from your bank, asking you to reply with a code to confirm a transaction you supposedly made. The entire exchange happens through text with no phone call involved, and it feels completely routine to someone used to receiving real fraud alerts by text from their actual bank. A third version operates through email, using the same pixel-perfect design techniques we discussed in the email warning video, directing you to a page where you enter both your password and the code your bank just sent, handing both to the criminal simultaneously in what feels like a completely normal login experience. There is also a version that specifically involves adding your debit or credit card to a digital wallet, and this one is worth describing specifically because it explains why the scam sometimes results in fraudulent purchases rather than direct account transfers. When someone adds a new card to a digital payment system like Apple Pay or Google Pay on their own device, the bank sends a one-time verification code to the card owner's phone to confirm it is really them authorizing the addition. Criminals who have your card number, expiration date, and security code from a previous breach can attempt to add your card to a digital wallet on their own phone. They cannot complete that step without the code. So they call you, claim to be from your bank or the card network's fraud department, tell you there's an unusual attempt to add your card to an unauthorized device, and ask you to verify the code your bank just sent to confirm your identity and stop the attempt. You read the code, believing you're stopping a fraud in progress. In reality, you just confirmed the addition of your own card to a digital wallet on the criminal's phone, which they then use to make contactless purchases anywhere that accepts digital payments, often spending thousands of dollars within the hour before the card is flagged. Let me now describe the three-way call variation I promised you at the beginning, because this one is particularly sophisticated and specifically designed to defeat the hesitation that more cautious people might otherwise feel. Here's how it works. A scammer contacts you by phone, claims to be from a fraud detection service or your bank's security team, and tells you there is suspicious activity on your account that needs to be addressed. To make this feel even more legitimate, they offer to bring your bank's actual customer service line onto the call, so you can hear from both your security team and your bank at the same time. They say, "I'm going to bring someone from your bank onto this line right now so you can speak with both of us together." What actually happens next is that the scammer dials a real customer service number from your real bank and merges the call, so you are now hearing an actual bank representative speaking. The real bank representative has no idea what is happening and is simply responding to what appears to be a routine customer inquiry. At some point during this three-way conversation, the scammer guides the interaction toward the moment the code is requested, and because you have heard a real bank employee's voice on the same call, your guard has dropped considerably. You believe you are in a verified, legitimate conversation with your actual bank. You read the code, and the scammer, still on the line, uses it immediately. Now let's talk about what you do when you recognize any version of this happening, because the right response is the same regardless of which variation you're facing, and it is simple enough to remember without any technical knowledge at all. Hang up the phone, end the text conversation, close the email. Do not explain yourself, do not argue, do not try to catch them in the lie. Simply end the communication immediately, because every additional second you remain engaged gives them another opportunity to rebuild the urgency and the pressure that makes this scam work. Then wait. Do not immediately dial the number in your recent calls. Do not click a link in the message that was just sent to you. Take 30 seconds. Find your bank's real phone number either on the back of your physical debit or credit card, on a paper statement, or by typing your bank's web address into your browser yourself and call that number directly. Ask a real representative whether there is any actual activity on your account that requires your attention. If there is, they will tell you. If there's not, you have just confirmed the call was a scam and you have not lost a single dollar. There is one sentence I want you to look for specifically, because it appears on nearly every legitimate security code text message your real bank sends you. And it is the sentence that tells you exactly what to do. It typically reads something like this: do not share this code with anyone. Your bank will never ask you for it. Some version of that instruction appears on the majority of one-time code text messages sent by major U.S. financial institutions. Because banks know this scam is happening and they are specifically trying to warn you at the exact moment a code arrives. The next time a code shows up on your phone, before you do anything else, look for that sentence. Read it. Let it remind you that the code was sent for your hands only. And if anyone is currently on the line asking you to read it out loud, that sentence tells you in your bank's own words exactly what to do next, which is nothing except hang up. Let me also address something important about what to do if you have already shared a code before watching this video, because this situation is more common than most people are comfortable admitting, and I want to be clear that acting quickly makes an enormous difference. If you have already shared a security code with someone who called or messaged you claiming to be from your bank, the most important thing you can do is call your real bank immediately, using the number on the back of your card or a statement, and tell them exactly what happened. Tell them you believe you may have given a verification code to a scammer. Do not be embarrassed about this. Bank fraud representatives deal with this situation every single day, and they are not there to judge you. They are there to help you. What they can do when you call quickly includes changing your account credentials immediately, reviewing your account for any unauthorized access that may have already occurred, flagging your account for enhanced monitoring, and in some cases, reversing transactions that have not yet fully settled if they are reported fast enough. Speed matters enormously here, because criminals who obtain access through a surrendered code typically move quickly, often initiating transfers within minutes, and the sooner your bank is aware of the situation, the better the chances of limiting any actual financial damage. Beyond calling your bank immediately, if you have reason to believe your account has been accessed without your authorization, you should also take these steps as soon as possible. Change your online banking password from a device you trust, such as your home computer or your own phone on your home network, not from any device or network involved in the suspicious communication. If the same password or a similar one is used on any other account, change those as well. Place a fraud alert on your credit file by contacting one of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion, which will then notify the others. A fraud alert signals to creditors that they should take extra steps to verify your identity before opening any new accounts or extending credit in your name. If the situation is more serious, you can request a credit freeze, which prevents new credit from being opened in your name entirely until you choose to lift it. You can also file a report with the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov, and if you're 60 or older, the Department of Justice operates a dedicated elder fraud hotline where you can get direct guidance and support. Let me also address an important concept that I think changes how most people think about these codes, and it is something a security expert phrased so clearly that it stuck with me. He said, "The verification code does not confirm who you are to the bank. It confirms who you are to you." What he meant by that is that the code is the mechanism by which you prove to the bank's system that you physically have your phone, the device registered on your account. The bank already knows who is logging in because they already have the username and password. The code is the extra step that confirms that the person who has the password also has the registered phone. But the moment you read that code to someone else, you are transferring your proof of identity to them. For those 30 seconds, they become you in the bank system. The bank's security worked perfectly. It just cannot know that you handed your verification to someone else rather than using it yourself. This is why the rule is so absolute. The code confirms you, and it only protects you as long as you and only you enter it. Now I want to cover something that is going to become increasingly important as we move through 2026 and beyond, and that is the rise of automated OTP interception, where criminals have built software that handles portions of this scam without any human involvement at all. There are automated phone systems that have been specifically documented calling victims, playing a recorded voice that sounds natural and convincing, and walking through the entire script of, "There is suspicious activity on your account. We have sent you a code. Please enter it now to verify your identity." The victim, believing they are responding to an automated fraud prevention system from their real bank, presses the digits of their code on their phone keypad. The automated system captures those digits, feeds them to a human operator or directly to an automated login system, and the account is accessed immediately. This version is particularly fast and particularly hard to distinguish from a legitimate automated fraud alert, because many real banks do use automated systems for exactly this kind of call. The distinguishing detail is always the same. A real bank's automated fraud alert will never ask you to enter your verification code. It may ask you to press 1 if you recognize a transaction and press 2 if you do not. It will never ask for the specific digits of a code your bank just sent. There is one more protective step worth knowing about that is available at most banks and credit unions right now and is used by far fewer customers than it should be, and that is setting up specific account alerts for any login from a new device or location. Most banking apps allow you to receive an instant notification anytime your account is accessed from a device that has not been used before, anytime your password is changed, or anytime a new payee is added to your account for wire transfers or bill payment. These alerts act as a real-time notification that something has changed in your account, completely independently of any code being shared, which means that even in a situation where a criminal has managed to access your account, you find out about it within seconds, rather than discovering it days later on a statement. These alert settings are typically found inside your banking app under a section labeled Security or Notifications. They take about 5 minutes to set up, and they are one of the most underused protections available to anyone who banks online. Let's also revisit something that ties directly into this topic, and that we have mentioned in earlier videos, using an authenticator app rather than text message codes for your banking security wherever your bank supports it. An authenticator app generates time-sensitive codes directly on your phone without involving your phone number or your cellular network at all, which means SIM swapping attacks, where a criminal convinces your carrier to transfer your phone number to their device, have no effect on authenticator codes, because those codes never travel through the phone network to begin with. If your bank offers the option to switch from text message verification codes to an authenticator app, this is a meaningful security upgrade that is worth taking 30 minutes with a family member to set up. There is one more version of this scam worth covering before we wrap up, and it is the one that tends to cause the most distress when people describe it, because the voice on the other end is not a stranger at all. In a growing number of documented cases, criminals who have already gained enough personal information about a target have used AI voice cloning technology to impersonate someone the victim actually knows and trusts. Sometimes a grandchild, sometimes a close friend, occasionally even another family member calling, to explain that they are locked out of their own bank account and desperately need the recipient to check their phone for a code that was accidentally sent to the wrong number. The caller explains that the bank mistakenly linked their account to your phone number, and if you could just read back the code that arrived, it would help your loved one resolve the situation immediately. The code that arrives is completely real because it was triggered by the criminal attempting to log into your account, not anyone else's. And the voice asking for it sounds exactly like someone you trust, because it has been artificially generated using only a few seconds of audio pulled from a video or a voicemail. The rule that protects you is the same rule that protects you against every version of this scam. That code goes nowhere except your own bank's official login screen. No family member, no matter how distressed they sound, has a legitimate reason for you to read your own bank's security code to them. Let's bring everything together now, because that is what actually protects you going forward. Understand clearly that a bank security code is designed to be entered by you and only you into your bank's own official login screen, and that your bank will never contact you to ask you to read it back to them under any circumstances. The moment anyone asks for your code, for any reason, through any channel, hang up, close the message, and end the communication immediately. Do not try to determine whether the caller or sender is legitimate before hanging up. Do not stay on the line to explain yourself, simply end it. Then call your bank directly using a number from your physical card or a printed statement completely independently of whatever communication just arrived. If you receive a code you did not request, meaning your phone receives a security code from your bank, even though you were not trying to log in, treat that as a signal that someone else may be attempting to access your account right now, and call your bank immediately to report it. If you have already shared a code with someone before watching this video, call your bank right now, explain what happened, and ask them to review your account for unauthorized access. Set up instant account alerts for new device logins, password changes, and new payee additions inside your banking app's security settings. And consider switching from text message verification codes to an authenticator app if your bank supports that option. I want to close with the thought that matters most here. The bank security code was invented to protect you, and it does its job remarkably well against automated attacks and hacking attempts. The only thing it cannot do is protect you from yourself in a moment of manufactured panic. The entire scam is built on those few seconds of fear, the story the caller tells in the 30 to 60 seconds before they ask for the code, specifically designed to make sharing it feel like the protective, responsible, urgent thing to do. Understanding clearly that sharing a code is never protective, never responsible, and never something your real bank needs from you removes the entire foundation the scam stands on. Once you know that with absolute certainty, the urgency they create has nowhere to land, the call sounds like what it is, and you hang up, If this video helped you understand something about security codes that you did not fully know before, tap that like button right now. It genuinely helps more retirees find this information before a scammer ever gets the chance to use this against them. Here is my question for you this week, and I want an honest answer in the comments below. If your phone buzzed right now with a 6-digit code from your bank, and 30 seconds later, you got a call from someone claiming to be from your bank's fraud department asking you to read them that code, what would you do in that exact moment? Tell me your honest answer down below, because knowing where people are starting from helps me make videos that meet you where you actually are, not where I assume you are. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one personally. And if there is someone in your life, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a neighbor, who still answers every call and trusts every official sounding voice on the other end, please share this video with them today, because 6 digits is all it takes, and the moment this information gets to them before the scammers do, they are protected. Subscribe if you have not already, ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and take care of your savings.